Hello and welcome to the Rodgers Brief. I'm Adam Rodgers. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. I have some exciting news to share with you today, and that is that I have completed the final report, my final report of the Mass Casualty Commission proceedings. I had said those that were following my daily coverage of the Mass Casualty Commission proceedings over the 75 days of proceedings, and in advance of that would know that my plan had been to file my own report or publish it 2 weeks in advance of the official version, which was supposed to come out November 1st. Well, that's now not going to be published until the end of March of 2023, and I didn't want to wait that long. I've been working on this over the last few weeks, working very hard to try to put something good together for you guys to read. And I think I've got it. So I'm going to publish this on Wednesday. I'm going to publish it as an ebook, and it's through an ebook publisher called Smashwords. It'll go to all of the different platforms: Apple, Kindle, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, Scribd, anywhere you get an ebook on your tablets, your phones, wherever, you'll be able to get this one. The name of the title of the report is called Deficits of Trust. The Rodgers Brief Report on the Nova Scotia mass shooting of April 18th and 19th, 2020, and the Commission of Inquiry that followed. Why is it called Deficits of Trust? Well, there's three things. One is, during the events themselves, the police didn't really trust the people that they were policing. The citizens didn't trust us with information, and then didn't critical safety information during the shootings, and then didn't trust us with accurate information and details about what they did in the press conferences that followed, and then, well, really throughout. So that was one. The police didn't trust the citizens. As a result of that, and as a result of many other things we've learned, the citizens are now have a deficit of trust when it comes to the RCMP and their ability to be a legitimate police force in Nova Scotia. And then the third deficit of trust is with the people, particularly the participants in the Mass Casualty Commission and the Mass Casualty Commission itself. The Mass Casualty Commission took on much of the character of the RCMP that they were tasked with reviewing. So those are the three sort of themes of it. I go into everything that the Mass Casualty Commission covered. Actually, in a sense, people who were following my coverage would know that the Commission counsel, the lawyers for the Commission, didn't submit a final, report, a final brief, or do a closing submission. That kind of a broad-based closing submission is kind of what I had in mind here, to cover some of the important themes that emerged from the Mass Casualty Commission and bring that to you. So the book is in three parts. And I'll share the links to all this when it comes out on Wednesday. And hopefully that all works out, by the way, on Wednesday. I'll let you know if there's any difficulties with that. It looks like through Smashwords that it'll be quite smooth as a upload, and you'll be able to get it everywhere. So there's three parts. The first part, about 12 pages or so, is on Gabriel Wortman, his history, what we've learned about him, things that are relevant to trying to figure out why he did what he did. Have some theories about that. Second part is what really happened during those 13 hours, and that's about 50 pages with 15 sections. Talk about key turning points where lives could have been saved, different decisions could have been made, probably should have been made, given the limited information that the police had. And then the third section is called Traumatically Misinformed, which is dealing with the Mass Casualty Commission itself. Again, it's about 50 pages, broken up into 15 short sections. So it's designed to be easy to read, this thing. So you could read it all in one fell swoop. Like I say, it's about 125 pages. Something you could read in a few hours. But also you could break it up into 5 or 10 page segments if you wanted to look at things, or skip around a little bit too, and all of that will be available. So that's, the design of this. It's sort of like a legal brief in a sense that I'm trying to build a case for the recommendations that I make at the end. But it's written for not for a judge to read or a legal audience, but rather a general audience. Same as I've been doing throughout my reports throughout the Mass Casualty Commission, trying to bring, explain things, the legal concepts, what's taking place to a general audience. Although actually I think that if law students or people that are setting up public inquiries in the future are looking to get some lessons from this public inquiry, they're probably more likely to get it from my report than from the Mass Casualty Commission report itself. And I think there's some valuable lessons that I include in that third section. Actually, just a little thing I noticed this week in the Emergencies Act inquiry in Ottawa, for example, all the participants got to make opening statements, which the Mass Casualty Commission didn't allow, marginalized the participants. Other inquiries should learn from that and other things. Now, why would anybody read this? Why don't you just wait for the Mass Casualty Commission report in March and see what they say, what the official version is? Well, there's a few reasons. One, it's certainly possible that we'll come to the same conclusions, their report and mine. Don't quite think so, but we'll see. First of all, mine's just over, a little over 100 pages, so not, hundreds of pages, potentially 1,000 pages plus with appendices and footnotes and everything else that the Mass Casualty Commission official report will include. So it'll certainly be a lot easier to get through. And then just judging by their interim report, I'd like to think that mine will be a little bit more of an enjoyable read. It was pretty bland, bureaucratic sort of writing style that they had in their interim report, which I expect we'll see again in their final report. And then just the simple fact that it's not going to be available to the end of March, that's certainly relevant as well. Well, we're assuming that it'll be available. It's going to be delivered to the provincial and federal cabinet, and then it'll be up to them what they release. Also, I would say, I say our conclusions could be similar, but it's really hard to imagine that the Mass Casualty Commission commissioners are going to significantly upset the status quo and recommend big changes. I know they're encouraged to make bold recommendations, but you just never know until it really happens. The other thing is, this inquiry, yes, it's a legal process, but I've said before, it's also a political process. And part of what has to happen now is, none of the recommendations from the Mass Casualty Commission are binding recommendations on any level of government. So the only way things are going to happen is if people feel that the Mass Casualty Commission recommendations are persuasive, and then they pressure the government to implement them. Well, here's another set of recommendations. They're coming from me, so they're not official, but that doesn't mean they can't be persuasive, maybe more so, and there's nothing at all to stop the public and governments from seeing them that way and implementing these recommendations rather than the official version that's coming down the line. So all of that to say, I hope people will enjoy the book, the report, when it comes out, and look forward to feedback, look forward to seeing what people think and seeing if it matches up with the recommendations that you feel were appropriate to emerge from the Mass Casualty Commission process. All right, so that's it. I'll be looking forward to seeing what kind of uptake the report gets when it's released, which hopefully will be Wednesday morning. I'll put it up there, and if there's any delays, I'll try to let you know that as well. All right, so thanks again. Exciting times, and we'll look forward to getting your feedback in the weeks ahead. Okay, so thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.